What if curiosity led you into darker corners of reality? At What If, we mix absurd fun and serious true crime. The story you're about to hear contains real events and mature themes. No gore is shown, but viewer discretion is advised. Stay curious, stay thoughtful. Vienna 1990. Flashbulbs detonate, wine glasses clatter, television hosts fight for a smile from Austria's newest cult celebrity. Jack Unterweger, white suit, crimson scarf, signs yet another bestseller. But what if that polished grin hides an active serial killer, protected by our collective hunger for a redemption story? Jack Walter Unterweger is born August 16, 1950, in the rural Styrian town of Udenberg. He later swears his mother was an abusive barmaid and his stepfathers were drunken ghosts. Archives paint a murkier picture. A restless boy who loved attention, adored cowboy movies, and hated school discipline. At 11, he's skipping classes. At 13, he's stealing radios. By 15, he's drifting through Germany, telling anyone who'll listen that pimps make the fastest cash. The self-mythology begins early. 1966, arrested for the first time. Over the next 8 years, Jack chalks up 16 convictions: arson, assault, burglary, pimping. He stabs one girlfriend with a screwdriver, beats another with a coat hanger. No one dies until 1974. December, snowy Graz. 18-year-old Margaret Schaefer hitchhikes home after a party. Jack offers a lift, drives to the woods, strangles her with her own bra strap, dumps the body under pine needles and cigarette ash. Police find tire tracks and a torn button. Months later, Jack is caught during another assault. In court, he smiles at the jury and calls himself an artist of survival. Judge Heribert Himmer calls him incurably violent and hands down life without parole. Now, what if a maximum security prison became the finest writing retreat in Austria? Because inside Graz Karlau, rehabilitative optimism reigns. Inmates can sign up for creative writing workshops, avant-garde theater troupes, and even correspondence courses with the University of Vienna. Jack, almost illiterate, requests a typewriter. Guards say he hammers the keys like a woodpecker. Within 3 years, he's finished 50 short pieces, half memoir, half pulp fantasy of streetwalkers and limousine pimps. He quotes Sartre. He plagiarizes Bukowski. He mails everything to literary magazines. Intellectual Vienna is captivated. Critics call him a modern Jean Genet. Radio Austria features his prison play Endstation Zuchthaus. Novelist Elfriede Jelinek writes an essay titled The Poet Behind Bars. By 1988, art professors, TV hosts, even a few politicians sign petitions demanding parole. He is proof, they write, that culture redeems. May 23, 1990. Jack walks free. Outside the gate is a chauffeur, a white Mercedes, and a film crew. Within a week, he is guest of honor on ORF's Club 2. Within a month, he's reading Grimm's fairy tales live on children's radio and lecturing Parliament on prison reform. He stocks his closet with silk scarves, each one a brand signature, and rents a penthouse overlooking the Danube. Alternative history moment number 1. What if the parole board had required a psychiatric risk assessment every 30 days? Would the next 11 murders exist only as blank pages? Because 3 weeks after freedom, Heidi Hammerer, 31, mother, sex worker, is found in a Vorarlberg forest. She is strangled with her bra, body arranged like theater. 5 days later, Brunhilde Masser, 34, same knot, disappears near Graz. The press calls the killer Der Wiener Würger, the Vienna Strangler. Jack reviews the case on radio, offers insider insights, and winks at the camera. Early 1991, Vienna's red light district loses 4 more women: Karin Eroglu, Sabine Moitzel, Sylvia Zagler, Regina Prem. Detectives notice a pattern: ligature strangulation, personal clothing used as rope, bodies tossed just off rural highways within 2 hours of the city. Jack, flush with new advances from his novel Fegefeuer, Purgatory, travels to Los Angeles to research prostitution. While he tours Hollywood sex clubs with local journalist Krista Warshitz, LAPD records 3 murders of sex workers, each strangled with their bras. Buried in a desk drawer, a rookie detective scribbles the phrase, "European signature?" What if American detectives had cross-checked Austrian crime wires? The timeline might end here. Instead, it accelerates. Back in Vienna, Chief Inspector Max Edelbacher is quietly certain the new celebrity is recycling his old hobby. Edelbacher, an introverted data hound, plots victim coordinates on acetate, overlays Jack's public reading schedule, and gulps. Almost every murder occurs within 24 hours of a book signing. He requests surveillance. Jack in theaters, Jack in hotels, Jack at breakfast. Gas receipts place him near dump sites. Red scarf fibers match a victim's blouse. Phone records ping cell towers hugging lonely highways. Yet tabloids still print Jack's columns attacking police incompetence. Ratings beat good sense. Alternative moment number 2. What if journalists had asked harder questions, had insisted on fact-checking his alibis? According to crime statistician Dr. Helene Fisher, media pressure could have clinched an arrest 6 months earlier, saving 5 lives. January 31st, 1992. Austrian SWAT storms Jack's Vienna flat. Furniture is missing. He's fled to Switzerland, then France, then Miami, then Tampa with 18-year-old Bianca Mrak. Money flows from Viennese friends into Western Union. One note reads, "The genius must travel." FBI intercepts a transfer. Agents in Tampa corner him at a bank. Cameras flash. Jack screams, "Conspiracy!" like a line from his own play. Extradition. At Vienna airport, he descends the steps like a prince at Cannes. His new lawyer, 26-year-old Astrid Wagner, loops her arm through his. Reporters cheer. Edelbacher, stone-faced, leads him to a windowless car. Courtroom, June 20th, 1994. Prosecution calls FBI profiler Greg McCrary, who explains the uncanny knot identical across Austria, Los Angeles, and Prague. Yes, Prague, because Jack squeezed in a literary festival detour in another corpse. The jury of 8 deliberates 9 hours, returns 9 guilty verdicts, sentences life without parole. Publishers, who already printed his prison memoir, pulp 40,000 copies overnight. Hours after midnight, Jack ties a tracksuit cord to a coat hook, performs his trademark ligature one final time. Guards find him with his red scarf folded on the pillow, a macabre autograph. He mails 2 farewell letters to the wrong women, ensuring their nightmares include him forever. Now, the big counterfactual. What if society had not mistaken charisma for change? Scenario A. The 1988 petition fails. Jack dies an old man in Graz Carlisle. 11 women keep breathing. Austria still debates prison reform, using statistics instead of a poster child. Scenario B. Parole board releases him, but forces weekly psychiatric evaluations and electronic ankle tracking. Risk model flags his nighttime roaming. Police intervene after the first murder. 5 lives saved. Scenario C. News editors treat Jack as a source, not a saint. Fact-check every alibi, decline talk show appearances until police clear him. Media frenzy never inflates his ego. Vienna detectives face less political pressure. Arrest arrives 6 months earlier. 5 lives saved again. But reality chose none of those. Reality chose applause. Nobel laureate Elfriede Jelinek later writes, "We were hypnotized by our own liberal vanity." Public safety advocate Marta Klein argues second chances must include second safeguards. Genius never cancels psychopathy. Author Peter Schaller counters, "Without daring to trust, we live in endless cages." They stand on television 20 years later, still debating how many lives a rah-rah redemption arc is worth. Psychologists now develop brain scan algorithms that claim to detect empathy deficits. Ethicists recoil. Could we ever quantify a conscience? So we circle back to the core question. Should brilliance ever outweigh danger? Could you trust a killer's redemption if the art was good enough? Tell us below. Smash subscribe for more. What if deep dives? Because reality is often weirder, darker, and more ironic than our hypotheticals. Hope you enjoyed this dive down the what if rabbit hole. Hit subscribe and let's rewrite reality together.